Man, everything is a Blumhouse production. Seems like Jason Blum will put his name on anything. I think this review might be a Blumhouse production. I forgot to check. I don't know. Do I get notified when he becomes, or does he just suddenly appear? Is is he is he like Rumpelstiltskin? If I say Jason Blum enough times, will he appear? Anyway, this is Strum, which is new to Peacock. It has audio description by IUNO. And we'll get back to this in a second. But this is the other Baily. This is Chloe Baily, Lynn Whitfield, Anna Diop, and some other people I'm less familiar with. Coco Jones. I did recognize that name. I was like, why do I recognize that name? Lucius Lavencourt, something like that is in this. This film is produced by Jason Blum and Tyler Perry. And it's directed by Malcolm D. Lee, the man who gave us The Best Man, Girls Trip, um, some okay films like Night School, Undercover Brother, Welcome Home Roscoe Jenkins. He's also responsible for the fifth Scary Movie, which is not great. So that too fall, the Wayans brothers do not like him. And he also is responsible for Space Jam: A New Legacy. So, but the point is that like his career is almost exclusively comedies. Um, this is his first foray into psychological thriller, quasi horror. Not really horror, but I mean like horror-ish. So we follow Chloe Baily plays a young up and coming violinist who, among other things, is invited to come and tutor the daughter of this family. Her name is like Zion or something like that. And so she comes to this house, and she meets the grandmother of this kid. Zara, it might be Zara is her name, is the girl. The grandmother is played by Lynn Whitfield. So immediately you know, well, she's gonna be in the film a lot because she's a legend and one of the biggest names in the film. Then there's the girl's mom who's like doing yoga at the time and can't be bothered, and she's currently pregnant, and the house is like super hypoallergenic, so like she can't even wear her own clothes when she comes in. Like this is the most like it's like a zone of this girl is so allergic to things that who knows, so they try to keep, and all the food is very specific because she has so many food allergens. She's allergic to everything. She has EpiPens everywhere. For some reason, she has a pet snake that I don't know. I don't know if the film ever explained why she has a pet snake that I think is venomous. I just okay. um, but Chloe is gonna spend time here. She will end up finding out that the dad, because the girl's dad died. He was a rapper, successful artist, whatever, and he died. Couldn't leave the life behind. So, um, anyway, so Marcus is the new husband who has come into this life. And so he's like the stepfather to this girl, but also will be the father to the baby inside Aisha or whatever her name is. I can't remember. None of this is important because this movie sucks. But so it's a lot about like allergy. It feels like The Housemaid. It feels like she's been brought into this film, and the dynamic is watch out because we're using you. We chose you for a reason. Which exactly is what it is. She was chosen for a reason. But what that reason is, the world may never know. After all, this is produced by Tyler Perry, so hold on to your butts. Um, it feels like an amalgamation of different ideas. It feels like it needs to be spooky, like a Jason Blum movie. It feels like it needs to be shitty, like a Tyler Perry movie. And it feels like Malcolm D. Lee is really trying to figure out how to represent Black excellence, which is great because he's done that across so many of his films, where he represents strong Black characters in film, from The Best Man all the way through, not just, I don't want to say The Best Man Holiday or The Best Man TV series, Girls Trip. I guess I'll stop at that. I don't want to say Space Jam: A New Legacy, which I think was the last feature he did before this. Um, all the way through Girls Trip, I mean, it's a lot about creating strong characters. He does a much better job than Tyler Perry does. So Tyler Perry, on the other hand, is very much leaning on tired, you know, tropes and just, so they clash, and it doesn't work very well. And Jason is just trying to figure out how to make things weird and spooky, and I did not like this movie. And from a musician standpoint, the title makes fucking sense because you don't strum a violin. It is not a word that you would use to to go along with violin. So, I don't understand why. I guess, listen, you picked violin. I did not pick violin. She could have been a guitarist. If you wanted the title to be Strum, there's no reason she couldn't be a classical guitarist, be learning the guitar. I don't know why she's a violinist. If the film is called Strum, because you don't strum a violin, they don't have fretboards. A guitar has a fretboard and you use a pick. So with a violin, you use a bow. It's a bowed instrument. So what you would be thinking of, if you're thinking of, well, what do they do when they pick at it? Because I've heard that before, that like staccato type thing. That's called pizzicata. It's when you when you pick at the somebody's gonna check my pronunciation and yell at me in the comments. I'm pretty close on it. That is the sound of the little doot 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 when they like pluck little notes. It's not strumming. They don't strum violins. It's not the same thing. You could have a stop where you kind of put your fingers across multiple uh, strings. It's called a stop, not a strum. So, tremolo is another term you could use for violin playing. But strumming is not one of them. So, I think I look at the title and I go, you just really wanted this title, didn't you? You never really thought, people won't know. They'll be like, strum, like a musical instrument. Oh my God, you can strum a violin? That's cute. You can't. It's not the thing that you strum. I'm sorry. So, yeah, I initially hated the title of the movie when I realized we're doing that. And she needed like to be a ukulele player, guitar player, something like that, but not a violin or a violist or so audio description. I actually liked the audio description. I've been in a focus group before where we were asked sort of like, what about regionalized choices? And it was people who clearly grew up in a certain place, so they pronounce a certain word a certain way. I'm trying to give an example of that real quickly before I give the example that I want. Because there's some words that are pronounced. It's not like the difference between using like the word soda and pop or using Coke for everything, right? Like the great debate of like, where were you used? Oh, he said pop, not soda or Coke, or, like, so that great regional debate, it's actually like the pronunciation of words based on where you live, like the rise of hearing axe I'm gonna ask you a question. Letting stuff like that get into audio description. Well, we did it here. I got ambulance, which is not how you say that word. Uh, it would be fine if the rest of what she was saying had an accent to it, and or had uh anything, like if it were had other choices. It stood out to me because it was so weird, in the fact I'm sure that this is authentic casting. I'm sure IUNO went out and found a black female uh talent to narrate this. She has such a clear and lovely voice the whole time, and then we get to ambulance, and it's just out of place for how she does the rest of the track. I if that is part of the vibe that we're going for, then sure. Like, but it doesn't feel like that's the kind of vibe she's going for. And this film is all about this elevated wealth, whether it's sort of a nouveau riche type thing, or earned wealth or inherited wealth. Whatever, wealth is very much these are people who are trying to pretend to be classy. They don't really have Poor people don't exist in this movie. So there aren't a whole lot of people running around who aren't trying to speak clearly and sound like they're from high society, like I'm better than you, because it's got a lot of that to it. Lynn Whitfield is really good in that type of genre. So uh, that's where the film sits. So Ambulance does feel weird. I don't like largely have a problem with it, but it feels like this is not the right movie for it. Also feels like this is not the right narrator for it. The rest of her performance was so clean and clear that when I got to Ambulance, I was just like, I don't know. I, when I had that focus group, it was people who had like consistent accents. So it was somebody who sounded like they were from, Appalachia, and pronounces words based on where they were from, like that kind of thing. This is like crisp and clear all the way through, and then all of a sudden you just hear ambulance and you just go, somebody should have caught that in quality check or something. We should have had a conversation. But so anyway, this movie is not good. It's Chloe Baily is getting not the same offers that her sister is. This is another Peacock movie for her. She was in that gospel choir movie that debuted on Peacock not like 2 years ago. And this feels like an amalgamation of things we've already seen before. It's got some weird aspects to it where like the daughter wears a mask like all the time, but it's a mask that her father gave her. So that's another reason why she likes to wear it. And her mom is having a hard time getting her to like take the mask down. I did like the character. I was hoping that she'd come into play a little bit like Lil Rel does in Get Out. Uh, there's a best friend character, Jasmine, who mostly Chloe talks to over the phone, but she does appear in a couple scenes. And I was like, I really wanted her to show up and be like exactly like what Lil Rel does and Get Out. Like at the right moment, right time, Jazz comes in and is like, that's my friend. This is good. So yeah, she gave all the right energy for a nice solid comic relief. I actually don't hate Chloe Baily in this. I just hate the movie. The movie is weird. I could spoil it for you. I mean, like there are some things that happen in this movie where you're just like, that's where we're taking the movie. I mean, there were scenes in this film that are uncomfortable, but not for the good way. Not uncomfortable well, it's a psychological thriller, so it's making me uncomfortable. Like she, um, oh God, like she gives a bath to. She's hired mainly to take care of the girl. Like that's primarily the thing, is to tutor. She's even called the tutor like straight up. She's like, we found the new tutor. And then she starts getting, they ask her to do like other things and her role grows. And then she's straight up giving a sponge bath to, I guess it's Anna Diop's character. And I just, where, how did we come to this? Um, the film focuses a lot, but doesn't do anything with the fact that Marcus, when he has sex, likes to choke people. It doesn't really come to fruition in any meaningful way. That, you know, there's a interesting dynamic with how they utilize Lynn Whitfield in this movie that I don't want to spoil because it kind of spoils the whole movie. But I did not think it worked for me at all, like on any level. Because they have to make a lot of illogical leaps to get where they get. And I did not get it. And they give her like, an expository stand there and explain yourself moment. And as she's explaining herself, I'm like, this sounds stupid. This is, I don't understand you. I just don't get it. You have a character who's like giving you, it's like listening to a Bond villain rattle off like why they're doing things and to James Bond before things, and you're like, what? For why? You're who? What? This doesn't make any sense. So yeah, it's Strum. I'm so sorry, Chloe. You deserve better than this. Bailey than this. You deserve Bailey than this. Yeah, I Strum is not good. And I don't know whose fault it is because I don't think the cast is bad. I do think the script is. I think the script doesn't make a damn bit of sense, but I don't think there's bad acting in here. I like Anna Diop as an actress. I like Chloe Baily. I like Lynn Whitfield. I don't know who Lucius Lavenscourt is, but Marcus is fine. The girl is fine. I really like Jasmine. I mean, there are characters here that I like. The acting is all fine, but man, when they open their mouths to speak, there's some really dumb shit that's happening. It's coming out of their mouths, and they try to make it work. And there are some nice scenes between some of them. Chloe has some nice scenes with the girl, the Zara, whatever her name is. So I just can't recommend it. The audio description was great. I thought Ambulance just struck me as being like, if we're gonna do it, do it. You know what I'm saying? If you have a regional accent, have a regional accent, but don't try to eliminate your regional accent and then shove Ambulance in there like it's part of your, everyday thing, and nobody caught it. So it is what it is. Malcolm D. Lee does comedy. He doesn't do this genre. So is that the problem? Maybe. Tyler Perry makes shitty movies. Is that the problem? Probably. Jason Blum makes a wide variety of movies and has made some really terrible movies, produced them. So he'll slap his name on anything. Is he the problem? Probably not, because he literally probably just slapped his name on this. I'm gonna guess this is more of a Malcolm D. Lee, Tyler Perry thing, and Jason Blum was like, "Hey, do you want me to put my name on it?" And they were like, "Sure." Yeah, well, it's a thriller movie, so if we say it's a Blumhouse production, then people will be expecting it. uh, Strum. I'm gonna give it a 3.7 out of 10. At times the cast elevates it, but there's not much it can do with this plot with this film. So this is a rotten for me. I did not like this film. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you guys on the other side.